Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. See how successful this one will be. Drilling's back. Discord, know that we are live.
Yo.
Oh, yo, what I read?
Red.
Let me go in here real quick.
What I read?
What's goody? What's
It's
goody?
good, Red.
We're live, Red, just so you know.
Cool. Is my audio good since I'm in the truck?
Say it one more time.
Yo.
There you go. Yeah, you good. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Live. And we're on. Hey, what up? Hey, Bo, True in the house. What's goody? Everybody rolling in. Let me scroll this thing back to the homies. Right there. Let me move this thing down. Let me put it up. There we go. All right, roll call, man. Wasted Goon, what up, man? What it do? What it do? Danny, what's goody? Anthony Ortega, Bam Bam in the building. What's goody? What's that? CB. We adrenalining. He just turned adrenaline into a verb. We adrenalining again. Yeah, CB.
Say that 5 times fast.
Bags. Who is this? The Asian Moses. I didn't even know there was an Asian named Moses. That's dope. Appreciate that. We learn something new every day. What up, man? No cap. What it is? Appreciate you being here. City Gang. Danny in the building. No cap in the building. Zidane Dadas in the building. We are out here. Good energy, good vibes. It's God's day. Let's make it happen. We're talking about adrenaline. Adrenaline being back for 2K24 seems to be confirmed by Duke Dennis. It's been spreading through the 2K community like wildfire. I'm just going to go through some more comments real quick. Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Do you have a Discord server to join? Just type !Discord, Asim, and the link will pop up and you could join the Discord. Rome just typed it in, so you should see it there. Let me move my mic up here. All right, should be good now. Let me see what else. What up, Fat Gaming? What's goody? Fat must be your childhood nickname. I hear that. Air Stampede, Swag, what's good? All right, y'all. How do we feel about adrenaline? What's going on? What's the deal? And I'm talking to our All City gang.
Definitely
What do we?
not surprised. Definitely not surprised. They just implemented it. Doesn't expect it to go away so fast.
Facts.
Hopefully they make it to where it triggers in certain aspects and not just always certain animations, since some of us have figured out that you can stand still and dribble and not lose it and be just as effective. So hopefully they implement that to like widen the skill gap, because overall I think it's good for the game, because people like myself who do like to dribble, it makes you have to learn a different way to attack an offense and actually have to use your players involved instead of headhunting the whole entire 24 seconds just to get the shot that you want. You know what I mean? Not what's just best for the team. So hopefully they just revamp it in my mind, but I think it does help the skill gap a little bit.
By the way, the reason why you hear Red sound like that is because he's currently locked up, so he just called collect. So you guys are hearing him directly from prison.
Damn.
Hey, it's all good. All city equivalent charges for the collect call. So it's all good.
Listen, you locked up.
Yo, but everything Red said was facts. I think it is a good move going forward, but man, they needed to make some adjustments there. Yeah, we could go through it and talk some more about it. How do we feel about adrenaline, homies? Anybody else got something else to say about it?
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that people were just going so hard against adrenaline when yes, last year was the first year, and this year we don't know if they fine tuned it, made some implementations, maybe added something, maybe added a bar or something. We don't know anything about it. All we know that it's back.
Yeah.
It's not and not the same exact way as it is this year, maybe, or maybe it is, but also we gotta think that maybe there was some kind of fine tuning. After the first year, they see the data, they adjust accordingly, and we could hope that is a better system. But I prefer having that than the 2K22 run sitting there for 24 seconds, like just watching the point guard go back and forth and whoever's playing lock go back and forth, and you just kind of just chilling there for the game. It wasn't fun. Like
Mm-hmm.
it, it ruined my experience of an otherwise decent game. I just didn't
Mm.
feel like sitting there for most of the time, most of the clock while two people play. It's
It
fun.
makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. Nobody likes it. 2K is very like it's gonna be like this, but man, I don't see 2K ever changing. It's either a 5-out or pick and roll offense is what we're normally seeing out there, especially when you get to higher levels of competition. And then normally, if it goes into a 5-out, it normally lends to the idea that it's going to be a one-on-one type of game. Who's the best ball handler versus the best defender? And that'll change slightly with collapses on defense to pick up and things like this. But we know the general way of playing the game seems to be that it's going to be maintained, adrenaline or not. But what adrenaline does offer the rest of the team is exactly what Hex said. That homie's going to have to pass the rock. And as soon as the defense, and I like that 2K put an indicator that lets any good defender know that the homie who got the ball ran out of adrenaline. So instantly we see it and we know get in those passing lanes and extra press that ball because he's out of adrenaline. He can't do much. I do like that idea, man. It's just my issue, my main personal issue is that they slowed down the speed of the game to make all of this happen. The general speed of the game is slowed down from what it once was. And it's not solely due to adrenaline. That's why I can't understand what is the community talking about, because it's not solely tied to adrenaline. That the reason the game is slow, there's other aspects. It seems that 2K has slowed the offense down tremendously when they actually had to just increase the speed of the defense and abilities of the defense. That's my argument.
I just hope that with the adrenaline bar, they actually get it better, not like the shading system when they introduced it. They really didn't pay much attention to it afterwards. So if they're going to keep the adrenaline bars in there, at least make it where it keeps on getting better year after year.
Yeah, and I think they would have intention. This was the baby step. See, and this was the problem as well. We're coming off a record-breaking year for 2K with these new mechanics incorporated into the game. So for them, it was tremendously successful. So if we understand that, it's like, all right, it was tremendously successful. They have a record-breaking sales year. They're gonna incorporate it back. I don't think they're gonna fully deny that the community wants something different in adrenaline. I highly doubt they're gonna fully deny it. But will they get rid of this mechanic that actually costs money to put into the game? I don't think they're gonna just outright get rid of it. So it's coming. We got to confirm that it's coming back, but what is it going to be when it gets back? A lot of people are focusing on adrenaline. A lot of people are focusing on the builder. And I got to just say this real quick, because I see 2K has finessed us for far too long. Don't matter what builder we have. It just don't matter. How you make the build. With the 2K community is always going to find a way to find a demigod build. They haven't failed yet, at least. I could say that. They haven't failed yet. This was the closest they've come to failing, and they still prevailed. And everybody thought it was just going to be day one type of gameplay until some genius discovered the 6.9 and made that happen. And then another genius, we thought the 6.9s was it, or the 6.8s was it. And then another genius came on and said, you could do it with a 6.1. Trust me. And boom, they hit the 6.1. Now the 6.1 doing everything. That was the first 6.1 was just a shooter. Then they found out you could add finishing. Then they found out you could add defense. That was the process this year. So the 2K community is never going to fail at finding a demigod. They just need to make sure that they allow the speed of the defense to keep up with offensive exploits. Is in my opinion, that's it's not the problem. Is not adrenaline. The problem is not the builder. The problem lies in how 2K has adjusted sliders for each individual attribute. Because regardless of your builder, regardless of what your attributes say, and I'll give you guys an absolute perfect for instance that I think everybody in here will be in complete agreement with. You got a 99 driving dunk. I know a lot of players in the game don't feel like the 99 driving dunk is it. A lot of players don't feel like the 99 steal is it. A lot of players, but before I even interior defense. A lot of players don't feel like 99 interior defense is it. But a 99 3 ball, that's it. If you can get a 99 3 ball with dribbling and defense, forget about it. You good money. It's hard to do. It's extremely taxing. But what I'm saying is the relevance in regards to gameplay, that what does 99 mean? And it's unfortunate that 2K makes 199 mean way more than another 99 in its respective attribute and what it's supposed to do. Y'all get what I'm saying? So you feel me? So it's like, regardless of the builder, 2K could finesse the hell out of us and tell us, yeah, you're gonna get a new builder, and you look at your build, and on paper it's supposed to do this, but because the veterans understand 2K gameplay, then we look at things differently. We look for what a threshold is, and this is why we come to thresholds, because we say, well, if I could do that with an 86, or if I could do that with silver limitless takeoff, then I don't need gold. If I could do that with silver limitless, then I don't need gold. You know, just like this year, we didn't need Hall of Fame limitless. We saw what we could do with gold, and we said gold is good enough. What I'm getting at is that we never know what 2K is going to do on the back end. What looks good on paper don't necessarily always play out on the floor.
Yep, and every game is different. So the mechanics, like even if we had the same builder this year and they had different mechanics next year, it would be a totally different thing. Like it's hard to even predict, like, you know,
exactly,
like in absolutes, when like we have no idea until we actually touch the game, and then I don't know, it's like nowhere to go from there because the game cycle was so short. So it was kind of like we had to make the best of what we got and try to figure it out from there.
So with that, with the adrenaline bars and now the air quotation new dribble mechanics, like I was really kind of thinking about that. What new mechanic can they possibly?
Thank you. I thought the same. You know what I mean? That's the first thing that popped into my head, right?
The right stick dribble function is the most free functioning way that we're ever gonna dribble, ever gonna implement anything with turbo and not turbo, using left stick for misdirection. What are they gonna do? Make us put in an extra sequence with the left stick to do a misdirection? You know what I mean? And then relatively, how is that gonna be tied into the adrenaline bars?
Now I can say there is an option. There's an option that they can pursue additional dribbles by, like, say, if you hold R2 or L2 or R2 and L2 together, and then like whenever you hit that left stick, it goes into a whole, do you guys know what I'm saying? Like it'll go into a whole new set of animations by holding both of them.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
a modifier.
I would understand. I would understand if like there's like a baseline for like no turbo, no L2. You flick the stick up, you got a moving crossover, right? If you hold turbo, maybe it extends the animation. If you hold turbo and left trigger, maybe it tightens the animation. There's some type of reactive system like that to where you can dictate how far the animation goes. Maybe that would be more of an advanced type of control. But other than them doing something like that, I don't see them implementing anything different than, oh, you don't have to point your left stick left to go left anymore. Like, what type of sense is that going
to make? I think one thing I consider is that they might add additional, you know, the throws.
And I don't
know how they implemented that with the dunk meter, and also like Eurostep, you know, Eurostep layups and finishing. They might implement some of that if it was successful. It seemed like a lot of, you know, people in general liked it. I personally don't like the double throws.
Me neither. It doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel like a natural input. If we could customize our throws, if we could somehow find a way to customize. And if you guys don't know what he's referring to, it's like on a drive, you'll hit left and right, or, you know, similar to your dunk meter, up and down. It doesn't feel like a natural motion while you're like trying to break a defender down. And this is what I maybe is a lot easier for you guys that are fairly new to 2K, because you haven't been like accustomed to specific controls for so many years. So they incorporate the, and everything's been seamless over the years for the most part, as seamless as it could possibly be, until they incorporated these throws, these throwing your stick around basically, and pause, big pause, matter of fact. But
you know what I would want to see more? You know what I would want to see more than more air quotation advanced dribble controls? Would you please give me an option to throw a lob at a pass type control? I can already control a floater. I control a bullet pass. I can control a bounce pass. I can control a flashy pass even with pass type control, but you can't throw a lob at it. You have to exit out of your icons and always tap double triangle.
facts.
That's something that they could always, you know, that would be better. Let me double tap the individual's icon instead of throwing a bounce pass. Let that be the lob. There has to be like some type of delay or input delay that they use. For like the bullet pass, you just tap the button. If you want to throw just a little lob pass over, like if you're having pinned down or sealed, and I want to throw it to you, I have to hold it a little bit longer and it throws it up. So why can't there be some type of implementation to where lob passes can be put into that sequence?
I feel like that's a feature that should have been in the game for years already.
For years.
Throw a lob off the icon. I don't understand why.
That's such a simple, like, you that just double tap the icon and you should be good money.
I've been using pass type control for years, since like 2016. It's been in the game. You know what I mean? But you've never been able to throw a lob out of it.
Yeah, because how many times we go up to throw a lob and it ends up being a self lob, or it don't even register at all, or it'll drag you from some.
Well, it's, you know, it's not necessarily only an angle thing. Not necessarily. It is. I get what you're saying to an extent, but with the lobs in particular, because we were so successful in the beginning of the year, it seems like when 2K adjusted whatever slider, it completely eliminated the lob. It was why was lobs so smart in the beginning of the year, and then yeah, it was so smart. Like the person going to grab the lob and the person that was on the drive. There was never those lobs that just throw it up like an idiot and it just landed. They don't put the second guy who's coming to grab the lob in a dunk animation. They just leave him watching the rock. And it's happened way too many times on fast breaks with nobody there. Just so weird. 3-point alley-oops, baby. We did a double alley-oop just the other day, which was dope. But yeah, that's definitely some great points on alley-oops. Well, salute to everybody that's here. Frank Daniel, Jeff Thomas, Sergeant Thomas, Stampede, Slits. Appreciate y'all being here. Dano in the building. Appreciate y'all being here, man. But we're talking about adrenaline coming back to 2K. It's spreading through the 2K community like wildfire. Duke Dennis dropped a video pretty much confirming that adrenaline is coming back. And now the question is what's adrenaline gonna look like? 2K is promising new dribble combo controls, new revamped interior defense, updated badge system. There's a lot of changes that are coming this year. And I imagine with those changes, we're going to see changes to thresholds and what we're seeing in actual gameplay. What do y'all think about that? And y'all sound off in the comment section. It's the way you do a double alley-oop is if you get into a layup animation, like if you throw the alley-oop and the person that's catching it goes into a layup animation, is the best time to perform the double alley-oop. If you see them going into a layup animation instead of dunk animation, double tap that triangle again, the person who caught it, and then somebody trails behind them, and it's just like a standard alley-oop. Boom. For the homie that asked that, who's that? John Keel. What up, John Keel? What's good, man? That was Raul. Hopefully I cleared that up for you. Hey, Julian, messed me up. I got up for a dunk. We need new rewards and badges and new animations. Facts. Revamped interior defense only to patch it. And yeah, these are all facts, man. These are all facts. We don't know what 2K is going to be, even if we see the game with like, with our own eyes and play the game for 2 weeks straight. You could log off, take 2 weeks off, come back, and you'll end up on the PlayStation 2 2K4, and you won't even know. You won't even know it, right?
Game.
Yeah, that's facts, man.
Yeah, I mean, my bad. I mean, cut you off.
Nah, you good, bro. I was waiting here.
Nah, I just want to say, I mean, 2K can implement all these new things, all these changes, stuff like that. But we all know within 30 days of the game dropping, like there's going to be a patch that's going to change everything because people are going to complain that the game is too hard, too complicated. Like it's just going to. We already know that it's going to be a change coming. So we can complain until we blue in the face right now. Like that game is going to change, even if we like it or we hate it. So
unanimously, it was like the consensus was that 23 was amazing on release. So much so that it got to the head of development to the point that he had to address it whenever he made the slightest change, in saying, after he'll announce the change, he'll say, "Don't worry, guys, I didn't touch gameplay." Right now, 2K23 is a night and day experience from the day it was released. Night and day, a completely different game. Loads of goofiness, where I spent the first 2 weeks to a month not even saying, "Come on, 2K." Not one time did I have to say, "Come on, 2K." And here we are. Damn near every time you get on the game. What the heck? Somebody saying, "What the hell was that?" I know folks in the live stream right now are like, "Yo, I just said that yesterday." Yeah. What the hell was that? Come on, 2K. Why did that ball go out of bounds? How come I can't get that steal? Yo, how that wasn't a block? Why didn't I get that board? I mean, these are instances off the top of my head. Like, I could think of these instances where folks are just like, how'd that happen? Who's that? Sisanda.
Why throw that pass off his face?
Why I throw that pass off his face, completely undermining a super high pass accuracy, which is extremely taxing on a player. Passes the rock and it hits him in the grill piece. It hits the defender right in the grill piece, or it hits off his shoulder.
Laser at your face to see if you still standing.
And that's, but that was.
It's the czar's point. You know, they talk about the community is toxic. Yo, your player is toxic. He's hitting people in the face with the ball.
Yeah, but it's facts. If they had some sort of physics in the game, the player will kind of get hit in the face and he'll fall, like fall back, or have an animation in there that showcases the impact. 2K touted about an impact engine. It was just about 2 or 3 years ago that they touted about an impact engine. And this new impact engine, in my opinion, has done way more harm than good. This impact engine is the reason why you're going, I'll give you instances where the impact engine has disrupted the fluidity of gameplay and allowed 2K to take over your animations, where you think you're controlling your player, but it's actually 2K controlling your player. And everybody's going to be in agreement with me, because this happens to everybody in different aspects on the court. Whether let's say you're dribbling down the court, you'll get caught up in a clamp animation that lasts 2 or 3 seconds that you can't even pass out of, and drags you down like maybe 4 steps away from where the animation started, and you're not even hitting your left stick, but you're still moving forward. How many times has that happened to you out there? You can't pass out of it either. You have to wait for the animation to finish before your pass animation starts. So it's almost like it's in a queue: dribble animation, then pass. So you don't even know if your pass is going to actually happen, or those long down the court passes that you go into a 5-second catch animation as if you're catching some sort of cannonball. That is just too heavy. For some reason, everybody is 10 pounds soaking wet and can't catch a basketball, then get put into a flip upside down cartwheel animation and can't pass out of that until the animation finishes. And then it goes in, because it's been queued, then it goes into the animation. But mind you, we're talking about 2 or 3 seconds later, where the defender has been able to recover. There's so many different animations where your dunks get taken and put into layups, and this is all due to the impact engine that 2K introduced about 2 or 3 years ago. And that impact engine to me was something that 2K incorporated just so they didn't have to go and dive deep into the coding to reconfigure all this stuff that was happening. They said, well, we'll just add impact and we'll take over their players in this animation. It's not a good look. We always had control of our players through and through. Always had, and I didn't even, when I used to complain back then, compared to now, we had way more control of our players, but we were complaining back then that we still needed more control. I didn't think that 2K would regress so far back and attempt to take more control. And 2K is completely aware of this because they addressed this in multiple courtside reports prior to release, saying that we're giving control back to the player. We're increasing responsiveness. They know it's an ongoing issue, and you could tell what 2K knows is an ongoing issue by how they market. This year, people complained about dribbling. 2K23, they complained crazy about dribbling, adrenaline. What does 2K market? New dribble combo controls. This is a joke, bro. It's like a joke. They complained about interior defense. What does 2K market? New interior defense.
You would think they're taking notes or something.
They are, but the problem is, yeah, facts. But it's like this. That's why the czar addressed. If you guys are new here and you haven't heard what a developer in 2K said, he said for coding, it's like you take your both hands and you got to choose one. You can't have both hands in coding. This is what he was saying in regards to the gameplay development for 2K. So when he said, well, if they ask you want your left hand or your right hand? And he said, well, I want both. They say, nah, that's not an option. It's not what? It's not an option. Of course it's an option. If you build it from the ground up, of course it's an option. Are you kidding me? It's because you guys don't want to dive in there and see the mess that's over there, admitted through the czar. The same developer 2 years ago admitted that it is a mess. And he said that with all due respect to his former colleagues, because he took over a position there in regards to creating the defense for AIs or the gameplay for AIs in general. And how do you say that? It's basically admitting that it's a mess and we don't have enough time to go in and fix it. So we'll just cover it up, add a new layer, boom, boom, boom. And then what happens? These are what patches are, yeah? They start removing the layers. So the ugliness of the gameplay ends up coming out. And that's what we see for 2K23. Undoubtedly, 2K23 can be fun in certain aspects, but doesn't even, in my opinion, does not even make up 20% of the fun that we used to have on 2K games.
Yeah, I guess they never picked the hand that controls interior defense and rebounding. And
yeah.
Because, man, I wish people went as hard for rebounding that they're going for adrenaline. Because, man, that mechanic is so bad, bro. Like,
it's terrible.
Like when it comes to problems with the game, adrenaline is way below rebounding for me. Like, and interior defense and the wackiness that happens between offense and defense in the paint. It's just, man, some of the rebounds, like even the rebounds I grab, I'm grabbing rebound through people. They got me boxed out, but somehow it ends up in my hands, through their head, and stuff like that. It's just like the offensive rebounding in this game is so bad. Like the worst thing. People grabbing their own rebounds after taking that terrible shots. Like terrible like triple contested layups and then grabbing their own rebound.
Nightmarish. There's 3 defenders in the paint. How does it end up in a 6'1" guard's hands after he done went up?
I was just about to say that. Like, there's no way a 6'1" point guard is grabbing a rebound over a 7-foot center. Like, some of the stuff just logically doesn't make sense. Like, it's like they got people that don't play sports, that have never got off the couch and done anything with their life, making these games to some degree. Like, it's crazy.
And it's so bad when it happens all at the same time. Like, dude goes up on 5 people, grabs his own rebound, then goes back up with it, and it goes through everybody, and nobody can stop it.
Yep.
It's just like that's every broken mechanic in one play. You know what I mean? It's so bad.
How many times have we seen a jump and a contest animation where you jump just high enough to make it look exciting? Like it's so heavily animated that it's not real. You end up feeling that it's not you in control of your player, is what I'm getting at. How does my player jump through the roof 1 second to grab a board? Jump through the roof 1 second. And then the very next play, you're attempting to make a contest and you just jump high enough. Do you guys remember the floaters? The floaters were super, they were dope, right? It was a dope option for finishing. So you incorporated the floater for someone who was like heavily aggressive and like hella antsy with the jump button. So that smart guards just did a floater. They beat the defender in front of them and threw up a floater. Well, that's what we're getting for regular layups as far as a contest is concerned. We're getting animations that jump just high enough to make it look exciting, but you feel lame as hell because you know that should have been a block. It's so false. It's inauthentic. It doesn't feel right. Those are my thoughts.
Sometimes it feels like you don't have an arm. It's like crazy.
Yeah, bro.
The ball goes around. I don't even know if I don't know what the mechanic is, but it just doesn't make sense. And the dude jumps away from the ball.
Yeah. Oh my God. Talk about jumping away from the ball. Ah, man, nightmarish stuff. Adrenaline boost helps make it more realistic. But at the same time, the hackers on PC are going to exploit that like crazy. Yeah. All 5 PC players, they could go crazy exploiting that, man. They could go crazy amongst themselves in their own little sausage party. But they don't have that much of an influence as far as the community is concerned with PC. And 2K is trying to make that known because they know they have a heavy base of hackers, a heavy player base of hackers. So that's why I think they kind of leave them on current gen, like go ahead and hack yourselves. But in regards to Adrenaline on console, more realistic, they need to keep a balance. You can't, in my opinion, you don't sacrifice fun for realism. The best thing to do is I think 2K is trying to find the balance, and maybe we're just the guinea pigs in the process of them finding the balance. But fun is always going to be where you should lean towards. And if the 2K devs, what I think needs to happen is some of these 2K devs need to do a legend grind. A legend grind will keep a dev on their toes, and they'll be able to find out why a lot of people in the community feel the way they feel. They'll be able to see all different players and not only see them, but play against them because it's so different from the outside looking in versus you being on the court. But they need to experience that for them to really, truly understand. Playing an AI will not give you that experience, period. And the devs seem like they're playing AIs instead of playing online, higher competition. Different people who are hella creative in converting on offense, finding creative ways to convert. They need to play against that stuff so they can fully understand why we feel the way we feel for certain aspects of the game. How many of you goofies stay in my career the whole year and then attempt to go online and see it's so different? Nothing's nearly the gap, the distance between the responsiveness in offline versus online is wild. So you're not going to learn anything about online gameplay playing offline because your 100 points will instantly turn into 2 points online. The 100 points that you're scoring offline will instantly, and I'm not playing with y'all, I'm not even joking slightly, you know that 100 points that you scored that you think you're a GOAT and now you're ready to compete will instantly turn into only 2 points online. Am I capping there? Can anybody attest to that?
No, you spot on. Like
You
people,
know?
they come in, they create a build, they think it's the best build on earth when they in my career, scoring 120 points, doing the same cheese over and over again until you get
Yeah.
face to face with somebody that actually knows how to stop it. Totally different.
And you
I
could
just
tell right away too. Oh my bad.
nah. You good? Talk, bro. You good?
No, I was gonna say, you know how many times we played in the rec together, and we see right away those type of players that play my
Yeah.
career. They just
Easily
yo,
identifiable.
they hold L
Identifiable.
court and just run straight to the rim and try to dunk on whoever center that is. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and I just had to go through because I made my 6'8" center build a while ago, and I never started the process of like the Gatorade quest so I could get the gym rat on him. But anyway, I just went through that, so I had to play the summer league game. And oh my god, the finesse, and 2K's been doing this for quite a while. The first games that you play in my career, the sliders are turned all the way up so you can hit damn near every single shot. So you scoring easy on that summer league, that first summer league game. What I'm saying here is the psychology behind it that keeps you amped on your player to think that your player is that good. So there's something that 2K does behind the scenes that says, make sure those sliders are lowered tremendously so when he plays this first game, he feels like he's goated. And then you go take that player, you drop that $100 because you played that summer league game. So now you bought 450,000 VC because you played that summer league game with the sliders all the way up, confirming for you that player is goated. And then you take that same player and bring him online and say, yo, how is that possible? And then you start to realize the level of 2K's finesse. It's almost humorous here. It's really almost humorous.
Yeah, offline it's incredible. The game looks
it does.
incredible. Now I know why there's people out there like, yo, 2K is amazing. Like the gameplay is amazing. It's those people that don't play online because once you go online, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It does not feel as good. It does not. And that's one of my arguments always is that I think that's why people only use certain animations because other animations just can't function online. And it's like they might function offline, and like you might be able to see the potential of these animations, but in terms of online play, that you can only go to whatever's fast because nothing responds. You know, there's no nuance. It's like skip, frame. Like I don't know.
JB, playing my career makes you feel like a damn superhero. Then you go to the park and feel like straight booty cheeks. That was JB. Sledge said you can dominate that summer league game with a 60 over. Yeah, Rat.
Backing off of what Heck said, like even with all the people coming back and trying to think of their players or demis, you know what I mean, playing online. Even the animations that are meta that are like, they even have hitches. How many times have you done a Russell Westbrook and Trevor?
It won't activate.
Yeah, don't trigger for like 2 seconds.
It won't activate. That's serious.
Yeah, I'm dead ass spamming the stick and won't trigger.
That's facts. I hit up. This is really bad. 2K is a game of quick responses. It's like you have to be super quick. So similar to Call of Duty, you can't go into a gunfight and then your gun jams. You just can't happen. You die, right? So in 2K, you come out here and you hit your animation. That joint has to respond ASAP, in my opinion. There cannot be a delay because a defender is in front of me or a defender bumped me. Trigger my animation. If my animation gets me the rock stolen, then so be it. Trust and believe it's a learning experience and I can grow for that and trust I won't trigger that animation at that particular time again. But 2K is saying, all right, here, you hit it, but we're not going to register it because we're in the middle of this bump animation. We're in the middle of the impact engine. So we can't register it, but we'll register your second cue. So you randomly get your second cue in, even though you're performing a combination to break down the defense. Yeah, you feel me? It's like, oh, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll tell you, the city from being in my career, dude, you go into my career. And it does feel like my little first build, man. He was a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Playing in my career, I thought he did everything he needed to. I bring him out to the rec. First time I go to dunk, nah, it ain't happening. It's like, so you learn real quick. So I feel what you're saying. When you're in my career, you feel like you can do everything. I tell everybody I'm a GOAT in my career. But in rec, it's questionable.
Yeah. Yeah, it be like that. And I think they just need to close that gap. I think the community will be, first of all, I think we're on next gen consoles. We paid a lot for these consoles. Why are we not having the type of experience that offline would get in the old gen consoles? We should at least experience online what old gen is offline. That's not even happening. Why do we still have the same online speed as old gen consoles? Why is there no upgrade there? Why is there no fluidity there? Why is there such a huge gap between online and offline? And that's a testament to how much we are, like, the 2K community is just long suffering. We don't even notice these things. We just make the adjustment and play. But the problem is that when I'm making these clips in the background and I'm editing them, I can't stop thinking of how slow and clunky the movement it is. As I'm editing these things, I'm looking at the movement and I'm saying, this is not, I've been doing these little clip things for years. So I quickly noticed that this is not what 2K used to be. It used to be way faster in motion, way more fluid. You used to feel the kill that you got, the breakdown of the defender. You used to feel the block. Do you guys, I don't know if some of you people who are new to 2K probably don't know this, but a good majority of the blocks, you had the option to swap block, and that swap block will come out all the time, every single time you activated it, if you wanted to go into a swap block animation. And they have that for 2K now, but it doesn't operate in the same way it once used to. There was so much control that was given to defenders back then, and now 2K is there holding our hands. We got the training wheels on. It's like, yo, I want the training wheels off. I thought I was a pro. Mm-mm.
Right, especially with the blocks. I know in current 2Ks, I love putting my blocks up. You know, I mean, ain't nothing like coming down, getting a chase down.
Yeah.
But this year, man, you come down and you'll jump out of the gym, you'll jump over the backboard for the block, and the dude just dunks.
That's it. Yeah.
You ain't
That's it.
Nothing.
That's facts, because Friendly View said, what's next? More quick draws and limitless takeoff from the 3-point line. But that's facts. What I'm trying to address here is that I don't mind if I don't get the block per se. But what I do mind is that you got these different animations. It used to be exciting where you knew you was going for a swap block, and that defender saw you coming and paused, and he said, I'm going to go up and drive anyway. And it was just such a challenge to meet each other at the rim that it was like, you know, oftentimes you hear me say about these lames on 2K right now that are pump faking in the paint and only hit going for a layup. I say that my first instinct is to say, damn, you ain't got no balls, bro. Let your balls drop, bro. It's like, because I can't settle for having a 90+ standing dunk and my player is going up for a layup. It's unacceptable, in my opinion. So what I'm saying here is give control back. If someone wants to like make the game a little more exciting, let them go into a swap block animation. If they swing at air, so be it. They'll learn how to adjust. If a finisher is going up, let him go through and through his finishing animation. 2K, stop getting involved in my finishing. Let me go up for my animation. Stop changing my joint. I just want to go up for my animation. If this man want to go up for a swap block, so be it. Whatever happens, happens. You know, and that was the fulfilling experience about finishing. That was what's so dope about it. And oftentimes I have to remind myself, because the way in which I play defense in the center position, I'm playing it from an older perspective that maybe I need to get rid of. Because I used to love baiting the defender to drive so that I can go for the chase down swap block animation, because I found that exciting. The excitement seems to be dwindling with each passing year. We don't even want to talk about different speeds. My blocks feel like I got no strength on my build. when I have a 95 strength. When you think we could get a gameplay trailer, it's the gameplay trailer. I'm trying to recall the rollout. Heck, do you have knowledge on the gameplay trailer release? It's like the
They
I can't
do
recall.
normally, like the first thing they do drop is the gameplay blog with a bunch of gameplay videos.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I don't recall when the exact time frame was last year.
But it was like I think it was more sooner than later. It wasn't like, oh, I could be mistaken this because I know they do. It may be the gameplay trailer that they released the week prior to release. That I think that's what it is. The gameplay trailer that they release a week prior, but they give you a glimpse of something like coming real soon. Where we are, July 16th. Yeah, like in August, I think they'll give us a glimpse of something in regards to like last year they were showing like little impact clips and dribble clips, but the actual gameplay trailer where they've like primarily focused on the neighborhood, the city, showcase that. I think that drops the week prior, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll find out soon enough. I'll try and keep. This is gonna be my first year keeping a full like maintaining with notes and everything, so we could compare it next year. But I'll definitely try and keep an eye and make a note about it when it drops this year. So for questions next year, we'll have that
Well,
set up.
I just looked up when they dropped the YouTube video, and it was August 30th. So
So 1 week before. So yeah, 1 week before is that gameplay trailer. So yeah, you should be looking forward to that happening at the end of August. I appreciate that, Heck. That happens to me all the time. I have a 94 standing dunk for nothing. Yeah, and it's annoying. Why can't centers look strong? Why what is it about centers that what is it about 2K that don't like defense? This is not a negative Nelly stream, yeah. I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly. We're addressing things so that we could kind of talk about it going into 2K24 expectations, new mechanics added to the game. But I can't get where we come from a history in the NBA of super strong elite finishers in the paint. And a lot of them are lame that would go into a layup, but I don't think anybody here, if they put a 90 standing dunk, are expecting, and you see gold light up when you go into that 90 standing dunk. I don't think they're expecting that to be a layup in the paint. Imagine the back.
Think it's just there's not enough balance. They focus so much on the offense that they didn't put enough work into the defense. And just like you said, why can't your center look strong and big and be down there? It's because
Whoa, hey yo, hey yo, that was next level.
Muy
See,
caliente.
muy caliente, my salsa. Ay mi Dios.
But what I'm trying to say is that you do that where he looks strong in the paint, he's gonna be slow. And then right now you can't have a center that's too slow because he can't play the corners on the defense on his own.
Yeah, we need centers to look strong. We need interior deep. What we need is a battle. How come we're able to get like the primary ball handler and the lockdown battle completely locked in? Where 2K understands that we got to create this battle between a lockdown and a primary ball handler. What is the difference between somebody in the paint? Now, I'm not saying this for the sake of sacrificing interior defense, because I don't think the offense needs any additional tools right now. I would like to see them be stronger, but man, I don't want them to be stronger with this type of defense. That's just bullying. Increase the interior defense, make the defense look strong and the offense look strong. And you see, I'm looking at some of these finesse clips in the background, and I'm like, it may look nice the way I chopped it up and edited it and put it on, but oh my God, while you out there, oftentimes you're like, one, I didn't even know I was going to get that animation. So you don't feel like it's you. You immediately don't feel like it's you. You're like, man, why did that player move back? Why? Because it's Slithery. That's why the player moved back. Slithery moved him back. That wasn't him. You know, and that's 2K undermining the defense. And we can't have that.
Yeah, one thing I feel like being big works more against you than it does for you. Like it feels like it's easier to push you and bump you and stuff like that instead of it being the other way around, like
Mm,
being more of a,
mm,
like you should be an imposing figure instead of someone that can be pushed
perfectly
around.
said. Mm-hmm.
It just seems like being big works the other way around, which
Yeah.
to me is because you see the smaller guys, they're able to get these animations that they just fly around you or through you, and like they're harder to. But you go up with the same animation, people are able to bump you out of your animation
Mm-hmm.
easier. Like you do this weird, goofy layup thing
Mm-hmm.
that nobody likes. It's pretty crazy. Like
Death
it,
Before Dishonor said, make quick first step badge for defense, and you have to put up perimeter defense to unlock the badge. That's a great idea. I would love to see a quick first step for a defense. I would love to see defense have an option the way offense has an option. This needs to happen for interior defense, perimeter defense. This needs to. They need more tools. They just offense has way too many categories to play better offense. It's way too many badges to play better offense. Defense needs that same due respect. Hands up is the smartest defense you could have. Uh, Getting into position, doing your work early. Yesterday we were playing and I was running the 5 and I had to box out multiple times. I'm saying I got in position so early, multiple times, that damn near the whole court is in front of me to grab the rebound. And it goes to a long bounce. I'm saying like at the foul line area, boxing out. The whole court is in front of me. It goes into a super long bounce over my head behind me, right back into the player's hands. How frustrating that is. That is ridiculously annoying. And I know a lot of you guys in the stream are feeling my pain when I'm saying this. If you haven't run the center position, you should give it a shot just to experience it so you can feel my pain. And we can share, because I hate taking on the weight of this pain.
Well, I'll say this, City. With my little 6'9" build, I've ran center with him, not on purpose. We just loaded up with the homies, and it was a small ball. And I could tell a difference by playing just a center, because you would be where you need to, you're positioned, and then a slither badge will hit, and you'll just slide out of the way.
Slide out.
And I'm only 6'9", I get it, but if I'm in position, there should be some type of bump.
Contact. There should be a contact, something that says, I know it's frustrating because this is what I'm getting at. If you're in the takeoff animation, hopefully I could clear this up. If you're in the takeoff animation, you done took off, you're in the air, I prefer that 2K just let you continue with that animation. Then it doesn't change. And if someone's going for a chase down, then they go into the swap block animation. I prefer that those two animations just stay the same, no impact. And this is where things get a little confusing, because me as a center, if I see somebody who's more inclined to take off, then as a center, I go to meet him at the takeoff point. So I'm trying to eliminate the option to take off. And that was what 2K once was, where you could go and meet him early so he doesn't get the option to take off. If he does get the option to take off, then that's where chase down comes into effect or something like that, because you weren't there early enough. And it used to be fun. It's just not the same though. Too much of the time, Borgos. You could go ahead.
They took the gameplay of an all-star game and said, here's what Rec's going to be. No defense, just all offense. Have fun.
And the community has grown. The community has grown because we're not accepting this anymore. 2K21 ruined it for a lot of players. It was too easy. 2K watered the game down to the point where players got tired of it super quick, and everybody was a demigod. When you make everybody a demigod ain't the same no more. When you make everybody a mascot doesn't have the same value. When you make give every single player the opportunity to hit the ultimate goal on 2K Legend, it loses its value. So 2K
Or
attempted
give
to do
everybody a parrot. Parrot.
but yeah. So 2K is trying to bring that value back, but is never offense will never have the optimal value it once had if defense is not able to keep up. If defense is not comparable to offense, it just loses its value. And 2K21 showed us that. The reason why you could be considered a demigod and you can be considered good at the game is because defense has to be relevant. So right now is we're in a weird position because at defense at the perimeter is slightly better than what it once was. And I think at the beginning of the year it was amazing. But now with the patch to steals that we've been dealing with all year, is not as relevant. It seems watered down, and now we're just stuck in a position where we gotta contain instead of play aggressively. And I think more defenders want to feel the strength of their defensive attributes. If I'm mistaken, homies in the stream, let me know your thoughts about that. If I'm mistaken, if you feel differently or you agree, please share your thoughts in the comments. This is about creating dialogue. This is not about me talking to y'all. This is about us talking together. So share your thoughts, man, because you guys see I have some strong feelings about this stuff. If defense was good, it would be fun playing against demigods. Facts. The challenge. You'll take on the challenge, right, Trey? If defense was good, you take on the challenge. All right, bring it. I want that smoke. Bring it. Agreed.
I remember running with the homies back in the day when they had the dribble guys, before the adrenaline, before all that, and people would dribble out the time clock. I remember running with the homies, and we're all just being competitive, trying to see who could stop the ball handler. You know, hey, we're all going to take turns and see who can stop him. You know what I'm saying? And I feel it's the same way. But again, I'm not a point guard, so adrenaline does affect me somewhat. They just need to get rid of. I have watched you guys though run point, and the ones I've seen run point, Tron, Cheat, you, Red, that I'll see y'all do like one or two moves. Next thing you know, man, I'm out of adrenaline. I'm out of adrenaline. You know, if you want to add the adrenaline, make it to where, you know, it don't go as quick. You know, give you guys
add more bars.
To do what you have to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone was saying 5 bars would be good. Yep. But I mean, maybe 5 would. Maybe they need to find a sweet spot. You know.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping for this year, but people don't seem very hopeful. Like they just want to get rid of it. I just think you do have to limit at some point because honestly, 22, like I said, it was not a good gaming experience for the rest of the team because of the running back and forth. But you know, I understand not wanting to be limited to the point where what's the point of dribbling, you know? Now I know 2K. It seems like 2K was trying to make it more of a north-south game, and try to implement that just to kind of replicate, you know, give guys like the Luka Doncic's of the world like more viability. But I think they may have gone too far that way because a lot of that north-south stuff is just, you know, stop and go, you know, run around people type stuff. Hopefully, you know, it's a give and take type of thing, and you know they just gotta learn from their mistakes and hopefully adjust.
Yeah, we can only remain hopeful. And here on this channel, on this platform, within our Discord, if you guys are looking for players to run with, join our Discord, type !Discord, put that right in the live stream. The link will come up. But yeah, you know, I can't help but feel that we've been guinea pigs throughout this process. And I think that's what 2K is lacking right there. If you're gonna finesse us into being the test dummies, then let us know in a way. Don't charge us. Don't be so aggressive with microtransactions. We're test dummies. We're helping them sell more games, and they do that by getting the analytical data of our gameplay, how often we play, how many times a day do we play, how many hours do we play, our game, our complaints, and what we like. You know, they take all that data, and we're here. The game, we should be getting paid, not paying 2K. Maybe I need to make a video saying that we're the ones who's supposed to get paid, and maybe we start a wave. Because 2K is in a constant, never-ending beta. There's a beta. Am I tripping?
No, that's facts. That's facts.
We had consistency, y'all. 2K16 to 2K20, there was a certain level of consistency in what we received. Ironically, very little patches throughout that time. Maybe in that time, I would say at the most, if that's the case, maybe 10 patches in all those years. At the most. Now we get 10 patches, double-digit patches in 1 year. It can't happen like that. We can't consistently tell us this is a beta. You know how many microtransactions they'd lose if they tell us it's a beta?
Oh, facts.
Yeah. So there's something going on there, and you know, it just is what it is. Again, there's not I'm not trying to be negative. I'm super optimistic about 2K24. This is just us in discussion, talking about things that are to come, hopeful for changes and things like that. If you left a comment and I missed it, I will be going over comments right now. So copy and paste your comment and I'll read it right now. We're going to start with Andrew McFarland. Vice said, at least pay me in VC. Yeah, facts. We take that payment in VC happily because that's still money in our pocket.
They get stingier and stingier with the VC payout.
You ain't lying. That's another thing.
It's crazy you say that though. Like just thinking through like some of like the Candy Crushes. I know this is like completely like left field, but like a lot of those mobile games that give you the streaks for like every time you load up and play the game, like you get something free. I think MLB does it. Now that I think about it, like for consecutive days loading up on the game, like 2K needs to do something like that because just like you said, we are the test dummies for this game. A lot of this stuff is a bunch of trial and error. Okay, well, nope, that didn't work. Go back to the drawing board. Let's figure it out. But they need to be giving us some VC or something because this game is going in the wrong direction. Really, really fast.
Really fast. Andrew McFarland said, the adrenaline, the best thing to happen for realism. I like it's perfect where it is because it's really good players that have no issue dribbling with it. You just got to learn to adjust. This is facts, Andrew, but maybe you might be new to 2K. If you could share how long you've been playing 2K, because I'm curious how many years you've been playing with that type of feedback. Because I don't see no problem with having adrenaline either, like having that in the game either for 2K24. But what I do see a problem with is the clunkiness that we received for 2K23. And it's true that good players, because we've seen them, good players know how to adjust with this adrenaline and still look fast and fluid with this adrenaline. But not everybody has the time to be in the lab for that long just to not look clunky. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, the good majority of folks are not staying in the lab that long just to not look clunky, look slow. I know some of the things that you're seeing in the background is like, but City, you don't see like you look clunky. It's clunky in comparison to what we had. We had something amazing in comparison to this. I like the idea of adrenaline. I like the balance. They need to find a way to make offense not look so clunky. Oftentimes it feels like you could actually see the animation being queued up. It's almost like, all right, input here. And no.
Yeah, I would like to know how long he's been playing the game and what position he plays too.
Facts. All right, let's see who else. Jeff Thomas, at least let's get 200,000 VC instead of one. Why are facts, Jeff Thomas? Why are we getting the same amount of VC when there's been inflation in a virtual city, but we're getting this? Matter of fact, we're getting less VC than what we once had with a pre-order. Now it's down to 100,000 VC, but the inflation costs have skyrocketed in comparison. So there should be no way that we pay more for the game and get less. It's just impossible. Not to mention, when we add to that factor that 2K has got a record-breaking sales year just this year. So, if you got a record-breaking sales year, that's because your community, your player base really enjoys the game and you finesse the hell out of them. A lot of them are naive and they're about to be woke when they find out that their house is going to go into foreclosure. 2K is going to do that to a lot of people when their car gets repossessed solely off of buying VC. It'll hit the fan, and I think it is hitting the fan now. Just folks are starting to get more aware with the finesse. But yeah, I would like to see more. I would definitely like to see more. Marty Marr, GB, he's talking to somebody else. They're talking to each other. Friendly. Yeah, the reward wheel could be a lot more creative. How about 50% off store items for 24 hours? Great idea. Friendly View, appreciate that.
That's
right?
funny about the wheel spin, right? Because like it's better on. It was better in like the 20, or the year that you used to have to go to arcade and spin, and you would get double VC, you would get clothing items, you would get various other things, and now it's just like you get boosts or you get a small pittance of VC, and also they have like the better wheel was actually much better. Like I don't know, the better wheel now is mid.
Used to feel the impact of like the double wheel, whatever that joint was. Used to feel like, whoa, yeah, all right, finally got it. It's good, and you see the differences. Slithery. Sergeant Thomas says Slithery is too OP. You can be in perfect position and they still wrap around you. I understand if they use Euro step, but going for a regular dunk, that doesn't make any sense. And I made a video about this a while ago, this year, talking about what Slithery is doing to defenders in the paint. And you won't know this until you're a defender in the paint. On the outside looking in, it looks like you are way out of position. When you're actually on the 5, and I'm not saying if you're a lame at the 5, please don't try to use this excuse for your lameness. And I'm not speaking to somebody in particular. I'm just speaking in general. A lot of lanes be like, yeah, that was Slithery. Nah, homie, you was 5 steps out of position, bro. The dude is driving on the left, you on the whole right side. So please don't use Slithery. I'm talking about those folks who have the IQ that work tremendously hard to get in position early because they're studying tendencies of their opponents. So they work to get in the position early because they learn those tendencies, and they get there and still get beat by the offensive drive, by the person trying to convert. That's where Slithery is coming into play, where you're there early, but Slithery just kicks in and undermines your attributes, undermines your Hall of Fame anchor, undermines your Hall of Fame chase down. That can't happen. What's the sense?
Yeah, supposedly they had fixed that, because I remember last year everybody was in a can animation. You couldn't control.
Oh, I forgot that phrase. Yeah.
They were supposed to take that out. This year, it doesn't happen as often, but there's times with my center, I'm going up, I'm in perfect position, and you're gonna can me into an animation. Or better yet, let me turn around, put my hands up, like if you're gonna dunk over me, and I'm facing you.
This is humorous.
And your player floats from under the hoop to the baseline without you even touching the ball. Like you didn't touch it; it just makes you float away.
It's facts. Why does current gen feel smoother than next gen version of the game? Is that the consensus? I've never played current gen this year, so I can't tell. I can't really answer that, Joe Cool. Oh, that was Terrell Harvey.
Yeah, I think that's all subjective.
I played current gen this year, and to me, it does not seem like it has a lot of the clunkiness as next gen does. I can go into my Westbrook animation on next gen, and it'll click right in, and I can click, up on the right analog stick to set up my Westbrook drive, and then do a step back, and it's just like a fluent motion. The only hiccup I've seen on current gen that really will set you off is when you're trying to go down to the corner. Say you're playing that side and you go to the paint a little bit and you're trying to get back to that corner, it'll stop you midway and you have to force yourself. But as far as gameplay, it's a lot easier.
I know people are going to be upset with this because, the question is posed now, why does current gen feel smoother than next gen? And I think there's an answer for that. There's a company called Hookbang. For the new people that don't know about this, there was a company called Hookbang, which is currently right now Visual Concepts Austin. And 2K bought that company. That company used to help 2K make the game. They bought them to create the current gen version of the game. So they're the company that handles the current gen version of the game. The old developers before the split are the ones who handled the next gen version of the game. So these boys about to be on these developers' heads. Maybe we need Hookbang or Visual Concepts Austin to handle the next gen version of the game. Maybe the developers are just too out of touch or too, it's just dated. Because smoothness should be top priority. You can't be clunky on Call of Duty. Nobody would be on the game. By the way, while I'm saying that, there's a new game called BattleBit. If you haven't heard of it, you might want to consider it. I'm thinking of getting on that game myself. It's supposed to be a Roblox version of like Call of Duty, but it operates super smooth. So I'm looking forward to that. You guys might want to check that out. I am not sponsored by them. I just been seeing a lot of content on it and I'm interested in it. When is the last time anyone's seen an ankle breaker? Ankle breakers are long gone. It's facts. Andrew McFarland, sorry if I missed your comment. Please copy and paste. I'm going through it now. I primarily run PG. I'm not much of a spammer on dribbling. I make the moves I need and I work. If you run out of stamina, then it's with, oh man, English, please. Autocorrect is crazy, especially if you have the Spanish autocorrect. That joint is extra crazy. That'd be trolling, man. That'd be fun, man. It'd be fun to troll sometimes. 2K is so focused on the story and cutscenes. Whoo! Say it again. Who is that? Lip bag. 2K is so focused. 2K is so focused on the story and cutscenes. Remember when 2K16 had hundreds of dribbling animations where they were all go, no effort these days? That's how it feels. That's what's the most disappointing, is that we once had a game where you felt the animations, you had so many options in your bag. The defense felt like they kept up with you. There was no exploitations on. There were exploits. There were definitely exploits, but the defense was able to keep up. I'll give you guys a for instance. Do you guys know that in 2K16, if someone was trailing behind you, they were more inclined to get a chase down block if you went up for a dunk animation. So if you tried to finish with a dunk, the defender was likely to get a chase down block. And if you was smart, if you got a good lead with the defender chasing you, then you'll just lay the rock up, because it was supposed to be a quicker animation to lay the rock up than the animation of going into a dunk. And there was something so smart about that. You had to maintain a certain discipline, or one day you just might want to wild out and say, I'm going for the dunk, whatever happens, happens. And it was just a fun experience. There was a good mechanic there that 2K needs to revisit. How you feel
even
about
hand down, man down? That isn't even like in the game.
Say it again. Say it again.
You still get ghosted this. You know what I mean? Back in the day, we used to shoot over those. You don't think I can shoot this over you? You know what I mean? You better put your hands up next time.
Dragonian said, question, would you say this is a make or break year for them?
Never.
Anybody want to address that?
Nope, not until not until EA get back on their grind.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Not play basketball? There's no other game, so it's never make or break for them. They're pretty much bulletproof at this point. You know.
Yeah, I think more people appreciate you, Chosen. I think more people need to see where you might hear some content creators say, well, it's a make or break year for them. Man, get up out of here. Do you know how much money they got? Do you know how much shareholders they got that they're keeping extremely happy? And I thought about this the other day. Do you guys realize that in 25 years, nobody has come out of 2K and talked poorly about them? Talk poorly about the development? Everybody that what I'm getting at here is that 2K treats their employees really well, and they must pay them really well, because whenever they part ways, there's never any like negative feedback coming out of it. There's never a controversy. Have y'all thought about that? 25 years, not one person with this nonsense, with this game that we're receiving.
I've even seen ex-employees defending them on
Yeah.
Twitter and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which I find interesting. You know.
Mm-hmm. They got to treat their employees really good. They do right by their employees, and you know they're able to maintain this. And the reason why I brought that up is because the reason why it's not a make or break year for them is because of how they're handling everything on the back end, making sure competition doesn't have even an opportunity to come up. If they did have an opportunity, they buy them out. You know, things like this. They just.
Yeah, we gotta think like there's like 20 different game modes on this game that don't even like nothing like like park is such a small portion of what like people play. You got people that buy the game for play now, people that buy the game for the franchise, the WNBA stuff, my team. There's just so many different options in this game that they're gonna appeal to a wide audience, and a lot of people that just play just because it's basketball. They don't even play all the time. They just hop on and play with their homies. You know what I mean? It's I don't think they could be make or break. There's just too wide of an audience. And
yeah, that's facts. Yeah, that's facts, because we're I think the good majority of people that are here watching are probably mainly my career. Like they play online, they play rec, pro-am, park, but there's so many play now players. There's so many my team players, my league players, even WNBA players. So we got to consider that we may think that we're the people that keep the wheels in 2K going, but my team is the money maker.
2K don't care about us.
Yeah. Yeah, that helps give it perspective, right, Slim?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, well, you don't want to play anymore? Okay, we'll only make my team.
In fact, so we'll get that money off my team.
Yeah, we don't got to waste time and effort and attention until a game, like another game mode. So.
It's just a long, long way from being make or break. It takes a strong company. What I found out through research this year is that gaming is a high risk investment for shareholders. So, or for people who potential investors, I should say. So it's super high risk, and the 2K is a perfect example of why it's considered high risk, because they'll buy you out. So it's tough to see another company come up and be able to get those investors to make it. Is extremely time consuming to create. And then it's super high risk after it's all said and done. You could have an amazing looking product that could really serve the masses well. But if the masses just don't react to it in the way in which you intend them to, it becomes a loss. So right? You end up losing your money. And then what ends up happening is those investors pull out ASAP, and you end up having to shut your whole. This is happening. Y'all just look it up. Look it up on YouTube. This is happening right now with a lot of games that even came out with super success, and they just instantly collapsed, and investors just pull their money right out, and it's over for them. Scary. That's what you're dealing with when we're thinking 2K and whether or not it's a make or break. Hopefully you guys, the homie who asked that question, got some insight there. Do you like the shot timing in 2K23? And do you think they should delete the delay greens and bring back that's a good question. That's from Stage Hokage. He said, "Do you like the shot timing in 2K23, and do you think they should delete the delay greens, like when it only hits the rim, and when it hits the rim and you see the green, and bring back the automatic green celebrations?"
I could see them bringing back the old way of it, but because I mean, I know when they were trying to stop the fast break, because everybody's complaining about the leak outs and everything like that. Like it didn't really make much of a difference this year, because you could still go for a rebound and just throw it. And so, I could see them taking it out. I could see them leaving it in. I don't think it really would make too much of a difference though. But the automatic like green animation, I think I would say that I would like to see that back in there. Because you really don't know. Yeah, like you buy the celebration and you don't even know when it's going to trigger. Some people said it was at the 3 made shots. Some people say it's at the 5. Some people say it's at the first one. So nobody really knows. So I would say
I think
yeah.
Yeah, it was more fun when we got more of those animations. I think. Yeah. As far as like, when they first talked about adding that delayed green, I thought it was potentially a good idea, but we didn't really see much of a difference. It didn't really change much. So I mean, I'd rather it be more fun than if it's not going to serve a difference.
Yeah. I think that instant gratification of knowing you shot the ball well it's a good. I've become accustomed to what we got right now, so I don't truly have a preference. So I find it okay either way. But if I had to lean, if I was forced to lean one way, I would probably lean towards the older way of seeing the green instantly when you shoot it, to know you got a good shot, especially with the inconsistencies of shooting this year. It leaves you anxious when you take your shot, not knowing if it was green or not and having to wait. But I do like also what this year does for people that like Slim said, people leaking out. I really enjoy that people they just don't know, so they can't necessarily leak out. They don't know if it's gonna hit, and it did work. It worked. I see the differences. They still leak, but I see the differences. More folks staying down, because before everybody was gone. The second you see that joint is over with, they gone. Instant leak. So yeah. Good topic though. Good topic. Let's see if we get to another question. Remember, hold on, I think I read one from him. Leave your questions in the chat. I'll answer them right now. The All City team will get to them right now. So if you got questions, leave them in. We'll address them. If we don't get to it instantly, just copy and paste it. We'll ask again. We'll read it again. Just take L1 R1 out the game. Why, Vice? You don't like L1 R1? I think it's a good option. This year was a good option because the good majority of the time me running center, I give it to, our point guard. And I'm on the rebound, I'm looking or waiting for someone to say I'm out. And that's when I hit L1 or R1 L1. But very rarely, huh?
Yeah, no, I would like to see why he would want it out the game, because
that's Vice.
Because like I'm just thinking like through Madden, like they still have like a dump down option, like in Madden, like where they had it for a while, where it's like it would throw it to like the running back. Like, so that's the closest person to you. So in my mind, 2K has it like if we're trying to throw it to the closest person to the basket, it's the same kind of concept. So.
Yeah, because I use that R1 L1. They changed it because it used to be if we're in the half court set and I hit R1 L1, it'll dump it to a corner. If we're in the half court set. But even still, when I get into the half court set, oftentimes if I see a drive and I can't really acknowledge the icon or know instantly the icon, then I'll hit R1 L1 if somebody's cutting, and I got the rock. I'll just hit that R1 L1. So I really, really like R1 L1 or L1 R1 or whatever. There's somebody who asked, do we have a lot of Xbox followers? Our intention this year, considering that we're getting crossplay, is to really increase the amount of Xbox followers, not flowers, followers. So yeah, we're going to increase. We're going to work on getting those Xbox followers, creating tournaments within our Discord community for Xbox followers. Right now, it's a little low. So if you want to be one of the first people to come in, don't get me wrong. You're not going to be first, but because we got a good following of Xbox players. We just want to increase it to match the amount of PlayStation players so that everybody has a home within our community. whether you're on Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah, I think this the crossplay really helps the Xbox portion
Mm-hmm.
of the
Oh yeah.
2K fandom because I noticed that it definitely there's a lot more PS players, you know,
Mm-hmm.
especially in next gen. Next gen,
Mm.
people, I guess they wanted the PS5 more, so
Mm-hmm.
it's good that the Xbox side of things get to, and also they get to play with you. A lot of people
Yeah.
that were on the Xbox side of things really wanted, to play with you, and now they get that.
Right. And that's, yeah. And I look forward to y'all Xbox players. Yeah, come on out, type ! Discord, join our Discord. You get an opportunity to run with us. We'll tell you everything you need to do to make that happen. And it includes trying out for the Lunatics. If you want to get some chances to run with us, we're in there. You're welcome to come in anytime we're in the party. The party is always open to all members. Go ahead and try to come in there on some slick stuff and you'll get kicked out the Discord instantly. Safe environment for gamers from all walks of life, and we do not even budge on that idea. We want to make sure it stays safe. So if you're on Xbox, we welcome you to our Discord. If you're on PlayStation, join the Discord. It's all love in there. Let's get into BX Scotty said, CJ, I'll get to your comment. As a matter of fact, let's read CJ's first. I feel like 2K20 was the most underappreciated. It was underappreciated for its time, even though I had the most fun. To be honest, the only issues were steal tendencies and hop steps, but defense and offense were balanced. Great assessment, CJ. Does everybody agree with that? Dude, how many of us played 2K20? Has everybody in here played 2K20?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Definitely my favorite. Definitely my favorite one.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a fair assessment, CJ. Appreciate you. BX Scotty said, you think strength will matter in 2K24? Because a 6'1 guard with 30 strength shouldn't be able to finish over a 7'2 with 90 strength. And that goes to what Heck was saying, where is the physics at? Why is a 6'1 guard not getting, that's maybe 150-pound difference, not just getting bumped out of the paint on that drive and dropped to the ground when I'm throwing my whole body weight into that drive? Anybody want to elaborate on that?
No, I guess.
Hmm.
That's a hard one to explain because it doesn't make sense.
Well, it's just strength.
I can get a 6'5", that can do that, but a 6'1" to do that constantly, and it's not just once; it's constant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's facts.
I think it's the Ja Morant and Derrick Rose effect.
Yeah. You can't make everybody Ja Morant and Derrick Rose. You get what I'm saying? That 2K makes everybody. You can't give that type of speed to someone and then still give them Ja Morant and Derrick Rose and still give them the limitless shot and still give them the fading limitless shot. We can't have that in the game, 2K. There used to be a time, and you guys don't probably remember this, but there used to be a time where 2K was going through these transitions. And during these transitions, the playmaker, the sole pure playmaker, became an elite build on 2K games. They were able to hit half-court shots, 3-point shots, break down the entire defense, and they were super tall to finish. And they had good defense, so they were everything. But what I'm mainly getting at is that we had set shooters. There was a person set there to shoot, a sharpshooter, and that sharpshooter didn't have good defense, didn't have good mobility. It was known, but he had lights out three-pointer, played his role. The pure playmaker ends up turning into a play sharp and got smaller. This is like what we experienced as 2K players. It turned into what was called a play sharp. The play sharp then was able to do everything, but now it's considered a play sharp. So they were taking them crazy leaners where the pure playmaker couldn't take a leaner, but they'll hit those 3-point standing shots. They wouldn't hit the leaners as much, but them 3-point standing shots in the drive was a problem. We go into the play shot the very next year. The Bills got smaller, and it was the beginning of the end. Everything, in regards to the role that you had to play, it was the beginning of the end. The play sharp turned into the play shot, and the rest is history. You got what you got now. So when you understand the history there, it's like, man, how can we do anything different? It's the slithery badge. Yep, 2K20 is a slashing playmaker. That was godly. Yeah. Yeah, we were out here, right? We were playing. So when I'm speaking facts here because we were on the game playing. It comes so easy to me. I don't need to think about it because we invested so much of our time into the game.
2K20 got people is why people want pie charts back, but I don't know how I feel about that. I think like the pie charts with the limited builds, it it created some kind of you know role player type thing, but I feel like it'll make more builds and spend more money, and because we
Mm,
want a build for every kind of situation, and instead of having like two or three builds that can do a little bit of everything, and we can make a big a guard. It
mm-hmm,
would be like we got to make 10 builds to
mm-hmm,
to be able to do what we want to do
mm-hmm.
on to not make the game boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Uh, WTF said pie charts are needed for casuals. I don't believe it. I don't. I've become. I I've come to a place right now where I'm not believing in the build. I love the builder. Don't get me wrong. I like the way it's set up. But seeing how 2K, like we just explained earlier, where 199 in one attribute is very different from another 99 in another attribute or category. So what good is a builder or whether it's pie charts or what we got now? What would be the difference if 2K has these thresholds to say this is the point where you're good, or at least what we consider good? 86 three-pointer is where you start hitting consistently. 92 three-pointer is where you this. What I'm saying is the builder ends up becoming irrelevant. We'll still have to meet thresholds some way, somehow. And that's how we've always judged 2K. What was the threshold? All right, what'd you put this on? All right, how'd you set that up? All right. And 2K set up that threshold to be good. And the 2K community ends up finding out very quickly where the thresholds are through trial and error. So regardless of the builder, what I'm basically saying here is like the builder is somewhat clouding our judgment on what we should be looking at is what I'm getting at. So when we think about the builder, it's like, well, it doesn't really matter if 2K makes that attribute irrelevant. They have an option to have 25 speed or 25 stamina. Oh my God.
What?
City.
City, here's something to answer the one guy that said about the casual. If you join our Discord and you get in there, we can help you create that build for you that would make you go lights out and use all the thresholds that we've all come up with. So even for
Yeah.
casuals, you can come into our Discords and you'll find the help.
This year builder works. I appreciate that, Tony. This year's builder works a bit like pie charts. That's how I feel. That's what I've come to realize, that it seems like this whole thing is an illusion. That's why I'm trying to get out to y'all. Like, it seems like the builder is somewhat of an illusion, clouding our judgment, thinking that we're getting what we actually put on paper. We put a 99 steal on paper. Why does a 45 steal end game have the same amount of steals as me, if not more? A lot of it has to do with IQ, and I'm not your ideal lock, but I understand the position. It's impossible if that I'm playing on ball with a 99 steal consistently in the passing lanes and just lunging just 1 inch from the ball, and I'm not getting the animation. And then you see the defense in front of you lunge from across the court and get a tip pass.
Or a player with a 25 steal getting
A chase down.
Or chase down. No block in the chase down. A 6-1 getting a chase down. Imagine.
Yeah, and he's not speaking. He's not generally speaking. He's talking that we just all witnessed All City Big Red with his 6'1" guard and 0 defensive attributes get a chase down block and stop somebody's drive. Absolutely insane. This just happened.
That was wild.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah.
So wild.
Yeah.
So wild.
Don't waste your time. And close that. That's how we felt. Yeah.
And close up.
It was like, what in the world? If that's not the goofiest thing ever, fellas, don't waste your time on 2K. Go work on your real jumper.
People can't do
If
that
that
either.
was a lethal shooter, I swear.
Adam said, I have a 99 dunk build, yet he still throws out layups at times. Let me dunk. If I get bodied, blocked, then so be it. Exactly what I was saying earlier. Exactly how 2K used to be, Adam. Same with 99 block. If I foul, then I foul. Don't make me miss altogether. My sentiment exactly, Adam. I feel the same exact way. Let the animation play out that I queued up. Don't give me something different. The thing with 2K right now, if you perform the same animation at the same time, or like say, let's go for a block, 10 times in a row, you'll get 6 different animations. There's a lack of consistency in and it's all guesswork. See, like that block right there that you just saw in the background. One time he'll jump for a crazy block. Next time he'll jump like he got no energy. And even though we're conscious of stamina, I know some folks don't be conscious of stamina and don't realize why they receive different animations, but we're experienced enough to know if you just look at my bar while I'm playing, you'll see that I'm conscious of stamina as we're playing. Always consistently conscious of stamina. So I shouldn't be receiving different animations. And if I pay to have Gatorade on my player and choose to add 2 or all 3 Gatorades on my player, and I look at my bar and it's full, why am I getting an animation as if my stamina bar is depleted? Can't happen. It can't happen. You're confusing me, 2K. As a player, you're confusing me. How is the game supposed to be played? Here's 25 years of experience for 2K. City, they retire now. Adrenaline bars is coming back regardless what the community says. It's to prevent people from left righting or over dribbling. Hope they make it right in 24, man. I appreciate that limited break. What is it? Limit break. But yeah, we know that adrenaline bars are coming back, and we know what it is to prevent. And the argument, this is where the argument was placed. I dropped the video earlier today placing this argument saying we don't need adrenaline to balance the gameplay. We don't need adrenaline to stop the left and right cheese. In fact, I'd even argue the point. I appreciate the subs, yeah. If you're new here, we have a big goal. We have a big goal to reach here on the channel. And I have every intention of making that happen this year. We're trying to hit 100K subscribers this year. The first goal is to hit 80,000 subscribers before the start of 2K24. We are so close to that 80,000, and I'm pretty sure we're going to make it happen, but you guys can help speed up that process by subscribing today. So if you got a second, you're in here, you're watching, we do this every day. We have a great offline community and we have a great online community. Consider subscribing and help us reach those goals. 80K by the release, 100K by the end of the year. Do you guys remember what I lost my train of thought trying to do that shameless plug? I forget which comment I was addressing. Why have all these animations? Can the devs? Let me make sure I didn't miss the comment. I forget where I was going with that.
Oh, you
it was
were a limit break about adrenaline coming back, regardless of what the community says.
Oh, that's right. Oh, what I was getting at, appreciate that, Heck. What I was getting at is we don't necessarily need adrenaline to stop left, right. We just need defense to be able to compete with left, right.
Yeah, it wouldn't body ups.
Mm-hmm.
Please give us body ups, bro. I want body ups in the game, man. It doesn't happen. It doesn't.
Right. So they get a left right cheeser, and this is the problem. This is the problem that I noticed is that we'll get a left right cheeser, and we're smart enough to play defense to cut off the direction that he intends to speed boost. If you're not smart enough, you should get beat. But if you're experienced enough to cut off that cheese, It should be impossible that this man just heads on into you and still able to keep the rock. There has to be something that penalizes the primary ball handler enough to say, all right, I'll make an adjustment. But there's not enough penalty for these ball handlers to make the adjustment. So instead, 2K changed everything. They changed it all up and they limited the offense and slowed the game down tremendously. They could have kept the same speed, the same fluidity if they just gave that effort to the defense instead of putting that effort into a new offensive mechanic. That's my thoughts on it. You guys in the comments, please share your thoughts on it so we could kind of create some dialogue and talk about it.
Yeah, man. If I cut somebody off, they need to pick the ball up. They're just,
Damn.
I don't understand, bro. Like,
At least if you got the badges, right? You know, you got what, clamps or some, you know, you have the badges. Yeah.
That's, I mean, come on, give us that. That's all we need. That's like, if I anticipate this guy's gonna go right because he just went left, and I cut him off, and I have clamps, make him stop. Why is he bouncing off me like a pinball, or why can't he just go straight back left?
There you go. You said it, bouncing off you like a pinball. It undermines my attributes. It undermines it. First of all, it lowers your morale in the game. And then it undermines your attributes. And then how do you expect to have fun when you're feeling like that? Did I waste my money? Did I make a wrong build? Should I have lowered that attribute? Should I have not met that threshold? Should I have met a lower threshold? So you start questioning all these weird things that shouldn't even be questioned because it was the primary ball handler who made the mistake and ran right into you. Should be easy to address that. But it's way more complicated than it needs to be. They should.
Either,
Mhm.
My bad. No,
Nah, bro,
that,
you don't even, yeah, you can talk, bro.
I'll say either that or like the animations that they've actually thrown into the game, like the behind the backs and everything, make them actually make sense.
Mm.
So like if you're gonna put an animation in the game, like make somebody have to actually trigger that animation to get past you. But not just like you were saying, pinball for somebody or run, stop, and then start running again. Like, it don't make sense. It's not real. Like,
It's not real.
it's like the community wants to pick and choose what animations that they're okay with. Like one hand you want to make things so realistic, with the other hand you want to make it still fun and playable. So like you can't pick and choose. It has to be fair on both sides of the basketball.
Mm-hmm. It has to be fair. So my argument here is, so we got all these dribble heads saying, yeah, take adrenaline out and bring back the old way of 2K. So what I'm saying here right now is that I think the community and the dribble heads will be heavily disappointed if 2K gave the defense what they're supposed to have in attributes. If 2K made all defensive attributes and badges matter just as much as the arsenal of offensive attributes and the arsenal of offensive badges that a primary ball handler would have. If they just give it to the defense, left, right don't exist. We don't have to worry about left, right because a defender, it'll become a thing where we say, damn, that lockdown got beat because he hit the wrong direction. And it'd be a cat and mouse game between a ball handler and a defender. And they won't be able to dribble the clock away because they're completely contained. They're not beating anybody. So that allows room for a double team, pinches, and all that good stuff. I understand the importance of adrenaline and keeping team gameplay going. I get that because it's really boring watching these dudes think they're goated. But I love speed, man. Speed has always been a huge factor in 2K games. And right now we're in a slow motion type of, I feel like we're like 80s basketball with super short shorts and super high socks and no ankle support. It feels weird. And hopefully they could address that in some way. What gaming company do y'all think should compete against 2K for a basketball game? I don't think they've showed themselves yet.
Yeah, there's definitely not a company.
Yeah, if EA couldn't compete, who the hell? Yeah, who the hell is gonna compete?
Because there's not going to be no company coming off the ground that nobody knows about that can make a game and everybody's going to be like, let's go play that instead of 2K. You know what I'm saying? That just can't happen. It takes 10 years if that. get that type of stuff under your belt.
Mm-hmm. I kind of feel that. And you know, it amazes me because on paper, I know these companies look, this is why I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Because you can't have this much success and there's not a company coming behind you trying to replicate what you done did. It's always going to, we're in a capitalistic country. It's just how we're a capitalistic world for that matter. So there's always going to be, if there's some success there, and we're talking about like stock market success, there should be other companies coming trailing behind you to rinse and repeat. But for some reason, it doesn't happen with basketball. It's so odd, bro. It's so odd. When was the last defensive player on the 2K cover? Yeah, who was? I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't think there was one.
Was there one? Yeah.
I guess if you count MJ, that's really the only one.
Facts. Yeah, facts. But he's more so known for his offense.
Right.
Defense was secondary.
I think Anthony Davis was once in the cover.
Oh, that's right. And he's also known for offense too. Yep. Offensive powerhouse, but he got good defense.
Same thing with Giannis or even Allen Iverson.
That was a good question, Vice. In facts, everything's been seeming like offense, and we know 2K has always been offensive oriented. I don't even think they deny that. The game is always catered to offense, and it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm saying, give the defense a little. Just because you give the defense the ability to compete doesn't make it not fun. As we've seen in 2K23 in their record-breaking year. Give the defense a little bit, but next time, don't take away from the offense, is what I'm saying. Oh, Ben Wallace was on it? Paul George. Paul George is known for defense. That's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
He's known for defense. Is he considered secondary defense, or is that like... Yeah? Okay. He's more offense? Okay. Yeah. But Ben Wallace?
I don't remember Ben Wallace being in the cover. I think that's like 2K3 or something like that. Right?
No, he was, and it wasn't that long ago.
No.
Was it? Which one was it? The homies, which one was it in the stream? For Ben Wallace. Because I could have sworn that wasn't too long ago.
That had to have been like 2K, like 13, bro, or earlier.
Nah. I think it was later.
No. I think
definitely before 17. It was definitely before 16.
How about 18? Who was on 18?
I think 18 was a combination of three
Kyrie.
Players.
Oh, that's right.
18 was Kyrie. So it wasn't 15. I'm pretty sure 15 was Kevin. 15 was Kevin.
They're saying 2K5. Everybody's saying 2K5.
Yeah. 2K5.
I could have sworn it was later. I'm tripping then.
Nah, that's what I was saying. It was way earlier because 2K15 was Kevin Durant. 2K14, I'm pretty sure was man, I forget what 14 was, but 13 was even like LeBron or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was way earlier. Had to have been there.
I'm looking. I'm like,
but the actually 22, the 75 anniversary edition had Chamberlain on it.
But that was the big man thing. They had Dirk.
Yeah.
Will, and who else was on there?
Yeah. And Kevin Durant.
Everybody had that.
And Kevin.
Everybody had that T-shirt. And Kevin Durant. That's right. Because everybody had that T-shirt. Because everybody thought stretch bigs are going to be a thing.
I could have sworn
Davis was on 20.
Well, it is 2K5, yeah. 2K5. That was way back.
They said he's like, man, it's been 20 years.
Damn, bro, that joint feel like yesterday, man.
It has been a minute.
No, but wait up. 18, they had Shaq. 18 was Shaq.
It was Kareem. Nah, it was Dirk, Kareem, and KD.
I still wouldn't even consider Shaq like a defensive-minded player like that. He's dominant offense.
Yeah, Ben Wallace is definitely the only defensive-minded player that they've ever had. Like, big defensive.
So it shows, it shows their intention. It shows, where they gear their energy to. And we're 25 years in, and they've been going, this is the first year that we experience them limit the offense. Where do we go from here? I don't think the NBA, the reason I think we're gonna go back to what we've experienced over the years is because that's where the NBA is. The actual NBA is offensive oriented. They're scoring way more points than ever before. So everything's about scoring now. 40-point games come easy for some folks.
Yeah,
So,
that's facts.
yeah, so you know, it's like I think we're gonna see more of that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be offensive oriented, but it seems like the defense is always gonna be a step behind. Only elite defenders or elite defensive teams will be able to keep up with elite offense.
My biggest thing is I just want consistency this year. If I load up today and my players being smooth, I want to load up tomorrow and have the same experience. That's
One of the
it.
biggest problems, bro. It's like one of the
Right.
biggest problems. Is we go one day and it's not even like, all right, man, maybe a lot of folks when I be making those type of arguments, or maybe it's you. And facts, and maybe sometimes it is me. Good majority of the time, but just because it's me sometimes doesn't mean we dismiss that it's not 2K and the servers and latency and event going on. How do we just dismiss
Day
that?
to day, day to
Yeah.
day, more like game to game.
Yeah, I'm like, how don't you
Yeah,
understand what
man.
I'm saying? It bugs me
Bro,
out because you know your
30
game.
and 20, 30 and 21 game and 12 and 5 the next. Like
Yeah.
what's up? You know what I mean?
That's,
Like,
listen, it's like you playing Call of Duty. You're a sniper. You have the head. You got your crosshairs on somebody's dome piece, and the bullet just goes off to the left. One day, the next day, one day is hitting straight, popping the top off, and then the next day, the bullet goes to the left while this man's just camped there. This is what's happening on 2K. Our game goes left one day to the next, and we're too experienced not to know. Like, we're just too experienced to know that it's not us the good majority of the time. If OG's off the Henny, I know what to expect. But I be trying to throw those in when folks think I'm serious. Like, because I like feel this energy like folks think I'm serious, and I throw that joint in there, and it takes a second to register before I find that so hilarious. I be having a party in my own head sometimes. What badges do you not want to see return in 2K24?
Well, that's actually a good question. I think the only badge that comes to mind, maybe not get rid of it, but just like tone it or like make it more sense is Slithery. Because that's the only badge in the game that's like, it breaks the game damn near. It's making other players move a completely different way than they actually want to move when you're trying to play defense in the paint. I can't really think of another badge.
The other one, limitless takeoff, make it more realistic.
I feel like that one's
I
good.
think sometimes it's too overpowered on certain build. If you're able to get it, but your dunk is not that high, the distance you can take off from, it's like, yo, how is he doing that? He doesn't even have momentum, but because you have the limitless takeoff, it just makes you take off.
I agree to a certain extent. I love what Limitless is doing. I love that if you're naive and you don't know what Limitless is doing, you're going to put yourself and your teammates at a disadvantage. Limitless is in my opinion, a great badge to have in the game. And I like the distance of where you could take off. I wish they expanded the court slightly so the mid-range could become a thing again and allow for that same type of takeoff in the foul line type of area and all the way down to the baseline. I like the distance at which you take off because it shows the difference when you have the badge and when you don't. If you don't have the badge, you're going to go into an animation that takes you damn near right under the rim to dunk. If you have the badge, you're going to go take off from the foul line area. So it shows differences there. But like what to touch base on what Tooney just mentioned, the problem is momentum. 2K has always, and we're not talking about game momentum like 2K giving you better animations because your team got momentum. We're talking about the actual momentum of your movement, where 2K always knew, and there's another complication that I have, where 2K always knew that momentum was huge. If you didn't speed boost into a dunk animation, you were going into a soft layup animation. This year, what it's doing is you're getting bumped. There's no momentum. And like Tooney said, you're going into a takeoff animation where you had no momentum to make that type of animation happen, and it seems completely unrealistic. Where this wasn't a problem before, we never had that issue. 2K, the smart thing about 2K before is that you had to learn, oh, I need to make sure I speed boost into that animation so I get that takeoff. It was fun to learn. This stuff that like I learned from Laker fan. That's the speed boost into the animation. So trigger the animation, break them down, force them, misdirect them, and then boom, take off. And then we had the option of either teardrops or hop steps into the paint, which created a more of a challenge on your drive. Fun stuff.
I feel like there should be more viable badges and such. They're going to keep most of the same, so like they should make killer combos maybe more viable.
Oof. Ooh,
if they're doing revamped dribble animations or controls. They should probably also make vice grip either gone or maybe implement it in a different way. There's also ankle break, you know, like people were saying earlier, like Hall of Fame ankle breaker, you might get a stun out of it. You know what I mean? So maybe having that versus someone who doesn't have ankle braces should be shown more often, to where that person realizes like, oh, I cannot come out here with nothing to help me defend this.
Right. It used to be like that, right, Red? If you didn't have like ankle braces, you were going down, bro.
Yeah, if I could tell by the first crossover, if you start even stunned a little bit, oh, it's going to be a long game for you.
It creates the strategy. You get what I mean? So we would instantly have to say, nah, get him in the corner. Get somebody else. Anybody got ankle braces on? Anybody got that badge on? You know, some to help free you from getting that ankle breaker animation. I don't want to see overloaded ankle. I don't want to see exploits. But surely the badge is in the game, and if you're investing a tremendous amount of badge points on it, whether that's 4 or 8, yo, give him an animation. Something.
If I do a speed boost to like waste one of my adrenaline bars, and I decide to snatch back, at least give me a reasonable chance. If I'm trying to go one way and then misdirect you the other way, at least give me a chance or give me something if I'm willing to spend my points in it. Kind of like the whole system with defense. If you're willing to spend your points in a certain badge, you should be rewarded for a better chance of something happening in your favor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just like how everybody wants to preach now, they want the attributes to matter. Because if the attributes matter, if the 99 is the same for a 99 versus this, and now it's based off of skill at that point. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's facts.
Better defense or better offense? Which one was better?
IQ. Right? It's just like it goes off, like he says, based off your skill. Can you handle this? Skill comes with experience playing the game. What I learned here, and a lot of people take this for granted, to be a good defender, you got to learn the primary ball, like primary ball hands dribble moves. Like you got to understand combos. You got to know, because there's cues to all this stuff. So when you get the cue that this is the animation that takes him left, you only learn that through experience, whether you consider learning the dribble animations or you just play a ton against good ball handlers. So all of that comes, the IQ ends up coming with experience. And you know, it comes with time, but they need to give the option to allow it to happen and not just give the offense the consistent option of an exploit with like a left, right cheese, and the defender has no options there. You can't do nothing. Or if an ankle breaker, in regards to ankle breakers, don't just hand it out to a superior defender. No, that's a superior defender in front of you. That point guard need to just bring it down the court and pass the rock and create a play. If you're going up against elite defenders, they don't get the option to get their ankles broken because they have the badges and the attributes to make sure that doesn't happen. With that same thought in mind, you can't give somebody else the same abilities as a lockdown defender in regards to containing primary ball handlers. Like I often say, my player has an 80 perimeter defense with a 45 steal, and I feel uncomfortable with containing ball handlers. Not one-on-one in a 5-out situation, they'll kill me. But as team gameplay with less experienced ball handlers, I'm able to contain with no problem with those type of low attributes. I don't believe that should happen. My players should be playing out of the corner. We need speed boost back, left, right cheese, just make defense better. I appreciate that comment, Joshua. There shouldn't even be speed boost option. It should determine if your actual speed and acceleration. I would like to see something like that, but it's hard to say when you're a speed booster. It's hard, right? It's hard to say when you feel that speed happen. It's hard to say I want that out the game because it's so fun to get the speed boost animation. It's fun to see that. We got to find the way to make it where the defense is not so burdened by a speed boost. Because I like speed boosting and I spent time learning how to speed boost. So I want to have that, but I don't want the defense to feel limited during that process. Well, we are about 2 hours in, probably one of the longest live streams we've had. If you guys, I appreciate you guys being here. Salute to y'all, and please consider dropping a like if you haven't yet and dropping a sub on the channel. If you guys are looking for players to run with on 2K, join us in our 2K Discord. We're going to be running in just a minute. I'll be in there in just a minute to get some runs in tonight. If you guys want to chill, vibe out, we will be offline, not on live stream. We'll be offline in the party, and the party is open for you guys to join in. Say what up, come through. Or join the Discord just to be a part of a great community. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. All City team. Salute to y'all. Please help take us away from top to bottom.
What's up? It's All Steady Big Heck. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me in the Discord. Much love.
Yo, this is All City Big Red. You can find me in the Discord always. You can find me on my YouTube. It's All City Big Red. Around here, don't worry, City accepted them collect call charges. My time's running out, though.
Hey, this is All City OG. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. We'll see you in the Discord.
Yo, this is All City Toonie, the underwater talker. Hit me up on Discord. I'm always available to help you guys out and get some runs in.
Yo, what up? It's All Steady Slim, aka Barry White, aka
Big
the
facts.
real Batman.
Life Skin's always
The real Batman.
Yeah. Nah, come through, vibe out with us, man. It's always a good time.
Hell yeah.
All City Tron. Let's help City get that 100K.
Big 100K.
Discord. Let's go.
Appreciate y'all. Salute to the All City team. Salute to everybody watching. Appreciate y'all so much. Wishing you a safe and blessed rest of your day. I'll catch you guys on the next video.